Guys, this is Mr. Joshy J, and welcome to your driver ratings and team ratings for the Qatar Grand Prix. All drivers and teams covered, and also we have the fastest lap, best driver of the weekend, worst driver of the weekend, team of the weekend, and worst team of the weekend. So right, let's start off with Max, the three-time world champion. 10, absolute 10. I mean, P1 in qualifying and P1 in the race. Please note, I am not doing ratings for the sprint race. I'm only doing them for the main race and main qualifying. So, yeah, Max 10, absolute 10, three-time world champion, dominated the race. I mean, you may as well put that on repeat. He's just been absolutely sensational this season in the Liga 1. Sergio Perez is 0, absolutely 0. I mean, he qualified at P13, P9 in the race at 2 penalties for track limits. That is nowhere near good enough for a driver like Perez driving the best car. And if I was Red Bull, I would absolutely sack him, but at the moment, I don't think his seat is under threat at the moment, but if I was in charge of Red Bull, I'd say, right, there's your P45, now fuck off out of here. You're not good enough. Mercedes, Lewis Hamilton, 5. Yes, I give Lewis Hamilton a 5. Qualifying, I think he qualified about, P5 or something, then got promoted to P3 because of track infringements by other drivers. Started on the softs, went for an overtake on George Russell, not enough room, 3-1 just doesn't go, and George and Lewis make contact, and Lewis' tyre comes off and he's beached into the gravel, suffers his first DNF of the season. I mean, that is so frustrating for my driver, that really is, but I like how he's come out and admitted he was at fault. Shows his true mentality of a true world champion. So well done to my driver for that. Have to give him credit. George Russell, 8. Yes, I give George Russell an 8. P2 in qualifying, because again, other drivers track limit infringements. And P4 in the race. Really good recovery that by George Russell, I have to say. Ferrari, Charles Leclerc, 7. Yes, I give Charles Leclerc a 7. I mean, qualifying, I think it was only P8, but in the race, P5. I think that was the best that my team could have done this weekend. And obviously, Carlos Sainz, I give a 5. Qualifying, got knocked out in Q2, didn't start the race due to a fuel issue. So, yeah, unfortunately, you can only get Carlos Sainz a 5, and yeah, frustrating for my team that we only had one car start the race. So it is what it is, unfortunately. Just sometimes these things happen in motor racing. Yeah, McLaren, Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri, 10. Yes, I give them both a 10. I mean, Oscar Piastri, he won the sprints, which was great. And then P2 in the main race. Brilliant weekend for McLaren. Lando Norris, 10. Had his lap time deleted for track limits. Got demoted to about P6. But still finished the race in P3. Perfect for McLaren, honestly. Just their resurgence is real. And I'm absolutely loving it. Fair play to McLaren. Alpine, Pierre Gasly, 5. I mean, it's got to be 5. Qualifying was decent, but the race overtook off track so many times and had a couple penalties. Yeah, not the best of weekends, Pierre Gasly. Esteban Ocon, 8. Yes, I give Esteban Ocon an 8. I thought that was solid by the Frenchman. I really did, and he scored some points, and yeah, good weekend in general for Esteban Ocon. AlphaTauri, Liam Lawson, 0. Absolutely 0. By far his worst weekend in F1 so far. I mean, it just was not happening for him this weekend at all, Liam Lawson. In the sprint, he beached it, and then obviously Was it in the sprint or was it in the main race? I think it was in the sprint. So in the main race, he really struggled. So yeah, a weekend to forget for Liam Lawson. Honestly, Yuki Tsunoda 3. I mean, just had no pace. It's as simple as that. Just a really poor weekend at AlphaTauri. And I think, who's getting worse team in the weekend when I get on to worst team in the weekend. Aston Martin, Fernando Alonso 5. I mean, decent race, finished P6, so it made an awful mistake, a very rare mistake by Fernando Alonso in a race. Lance Stroll, 0, absolutely 0. I mean, he got knocked out in Q1 again, just nowhere near good enough. This guy seriously needs to down his misery, honestly. But will Lawrence Stroll have the balls to sack his son and say, right, this is nowhere near good enough. Unfortunately, I am replacing you. But I just don't see how his dads will have the balls and guts to do that. I really don't. Alfa Romeo, Valtteri Bottas, 10. Absolute 10. I mean, qualifying was great, and in the race, he finished P8. That is absolutely superb by Valtteri Bottas. Fair play. Credit where it's due for that. Guan Yu Zhou, 8. Yes, I get Guan Yu Zhou an 8. Alfa Romeo, massive points picked up this weekend, honestly. And Guan Yu Zhou finished the main race P10, which is absolutely fantastic for Guan Yu Zhou. He never sets the world on fire, but this weekend he's really good, and so were Alfa Romeo. So, fair play. Haas, Kevin Magnussen, 7. Yes, I can count him Magnussen the 7. I thought it was solid by the Danish striker. Obviously didn't score any points because Haas, they have trouble with their tyres. So, yeah, but decent by K-Mag. Nico Hulkenberg, 0. Absolutely 0. I mean, it's got to be 0, hasn't it? What on earth was that all about in the start of the race? Got into the incorrect starting position, had a penalty. Yeah, Nisi called out that on sorry. Shocking that by Nico Hulkenberg. Alex Albon, 6. Yes, Alex Albon in the Williams, I give a 6 because, main race he's doing really well. In the sprints he did outstanding, scored a couple of points, and main race was a bit of a struggle for Williams. So, yeah, I say that's solid like Alex Albon. Logan Sargent, 0. Absolutely 0. I mean, usual story for this guy, but he was feeling a bit unwell during the race, so he came in, called it a day, retired the car, which probably was a sensible decision, because you're not feeling right. To me, he made the right decision to come in, but still nowhere near good enough this weekend. So Logan Sargent. Right, that's the driver ratings done. Let's get on to the team ratings. Red Bull 6. Max, great, but you have to mark them down for Checo's performance. Ferrari 6. I mean, solid by Charles Leclerc, but I have to mark my team down because only one car started the race, which for a team like Ferrari, that really is not acceptable by my team. I know these things happen in motor racing, but to not be able to repair a fuel issue in time for a race is just, to me, that's not acceptable by my team. I have to call my team out for that. Mercedes 7. Yes, I give Mercedes a 7. I thought their pace was really good this weekend. Russell, great recovery drive. My driver just at fault, but admitted he was at fault. So fair play for that for my driver. McLaren 10. Yes, I give McLaren a 10. Absolutely superb. Their resurgence is real, and I'm absolutely loving it how well my second team were doing in F1. Alpine 6. Yes, I can Alpine a 6. Ocon great, but again, you have to mark them down for how poor Pierre Gasly was. AlphaTauri 2. Shocking. No pace whatsoever this weekend. Aston Martin 6. Fernando Alonso good. Lance Stroll terrible. Alfa Romeo 8. Superb weekend to them. I mean, P8 and P10 in the race. Fantastic for that team. Haas high, by an average. Williams high, by an average, for them too. Fastest lap, Max 1 minute 24.319. Starting the race, well, I'm going to have to give it to Gauchi Bottas. I thought he was superb this weekend, honestly. Fair play, credit where it's due. Worst showing of the weekend, Liam Lawson, by far his worst weekend so far. Team of the weekend, now I'm going to get it both to Mclaren and Alfa Romeo. Worst team of the weekend, Alfa Tauri. So that's the driver ratings done, team ratings done for the Qatar Grand Prix. We move on to Austin, Texas next weekend. So back-to-back races. Very much looking forward to that one. Like I said in my race review, not the best of tracks, but usually my driver, Lewis Hamilton, does superb in that circuit. So hopefully Mercedes have a good race car on that track. Comment your thoughts down below. I will always reply. And these are one of my favourite videos to do, driver ratings and team ratings. Bye-bye.